It is the first Tuesday of the month, which means it's time for another Q&A Tuesday. Actually, this is going to be my last one. Just a quick reminder before I start, if you haven't already, check out my Facebook group for freelance translators and for aspiring freelance translators. You will find the link in the video description below. And now let's answer some questions. Elise Stone asks, what has been your most favorite project to work on so far in your translating career? That's a hard one. There's been so many things, and some of them I can't talk about. Actually, yeah, I was thinking about this, and I think my favorite project that I've done so far in my translating career was back in 2012 in the fall when I translated Lovely Complex, the anime, for Discotheque Media. And there's a couple reasons why this was my favorite. One, really the main reason, I guess, and why it keeps sticking out in my mind as this wonderful memory is that was my first, big, legitimate anime translating job, where I translated a whole series, start to finish, all by myself, got paid great wages for it. Discotheque was so generous, and I remember just that fall I had disposable income for the first time maybe in my life, really. I remember I went to I don't remember, some cheap store, maybe it was Michael's or something, and I bought hazelnut scented candles, and I bought a big box of Ferrero Rocher chocolates, and a couple other things that I didn't even need necessarily, but I was buying them anyway because I wanted them, and that was just so novel to me. So that was one reason why. Another reason why was I really liked the anime. It was really heartwarming, really cute. I can relate because I have dated a guy who's shorter than me, and he was only a couple inches shorter than me, but even that was enough to give me some of the issues that couple in Lovely Complex dealt with. So there was that, and yeah, it was a lot of fun doing that, and very validating. That was the first time I think that I really felt okay, this is going to work. I am a professional entertainment translator. Do you recommend translators have a personal website and business card, or is a profile on Proz, etc. enough? Yeah, I mean, you should get your name out there in as many ways as you possibly can. LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever. Wherever you can get your name out. And that includes sites like Proz, Translators Cafe, Fiverr, etc. And that it also includes, yeah, having a business card, having a personal website. The cool thing about having a personal website, and I'm not practicing what I preach here, by the way. I still need to get a personal website and business cards. But yeah, the cool thing about having a personal website is, if you think about all those other sites I mentioned, they're not yours. You're basically renting space there, for free usually, but you're basically renting space there. Like this YouTube channel, for example. This isn't my platform, this is YouTube's platform. They could decide to just take down all my videos if they wanted to, and I have no control over that. And Facebook could decide to just take down my translator page if they wanted to. But yeah, if you have your own website, you have control over that, so that's definitely an advantage of having that. And yeah, business cards, if you're ever out, it's happened at least once where I've been talking to somebody in person and I've mentioned I'm a freelance translator and they've really shown interest, and it's I could have given them a card, but I didn't. So yeah, those are very useful things to have indeed. Just getting your name out in as many places as you possibly can and having as many ways to promote yourself as you possibly can is never a bad thing. Ozama ASMR asks, what is your stance on natto? I haven't actually tried it before. I got away with never trying natto. I've smelled it. Doesn't smell that great, but a lot of stinky cheeses and stuff don't smell great either. A lot of people in Japan, some of my classmates really like natto, and they said, yeah, it's kind of like stinky cheese. That's kind of how they saw it. So yeah, it's I don't think it's fundamentally gross, because I eat plenty of rotten things. I eat cheese, I use wine in my cooking, I eat yogurt. But yeah, I mean, I suspect I wouldn't like it because I'm not a big fan of miso either, unless it's in miso soup. And I generally really dislike Japanese fermented things. I don't like Japanese pickles. But yeah, I mean, I guess if someone had it and offered me some to try, maybe I'd try it just out of curiosity, but I don't think I'd go out of my way to buy it in case I don't like it. I hate wasting money on food and I hate throwing food away. But yeah, Seems like it's a nutritious, cool thing for people who like it, but I personally have not even tried it. What kind of software do you use for translation? This is like the 10th time I've gotten this question in some form. But yeah, I translate my assignments in the format in which they're given to me. So if it's given to me in Excel, that's most of my stuff, I translate it in Excel. If it's given to me in PowerPoint, I translate it in PowerPoint. If it's given to me in Word, I translate it in Word. And if it's given to me in MemoQ, I translate it in MemoQ. But MemoQ really is the only cat tool, software for translating specifically that I use. Otherwise, I just use my brain and Japanese Google. Audrey asks, how tough is it for you to consider getting a job that's not freelance, and do you think you might be able to avoid it? So I didn't quite understand this question, like the way it's worded. I guess the gist of the question is like, how much do I hate the idea of getting a job that's not freelance, and do I think I will be able to avoid getting a non-freelance job? Do I think that I can keep sustaining myself forever as a freelancer? Well, I've been sustaining myself as a freelancer thus far, and yeah, it's kind of all I know at this point. So yeah, like considering thinking about getting a job that's not freelance does kind of make me tense, because again, it's just unexplored territory for me. I've pretty much only freelanced my entire adult life. But I mean, I would do whatever it took to provide for myself and my family, so if I had to get a non-freelance job to make ends meet, of course I would. But I haven't needed to yet. Which one of your fingers would you cut off and why? I wouldn't cut off any of my fingers. Why would I do that? Yeah, like I'm assuming that the base of this question is, well, if I had to cut off one of my fingers, like someone puts a gun to my head and they're like, cut off your finger or we'll blow up Europe or something. It would probably be it would be like my right pinky finger, I think, because it's very weak. I don't use it that much. In typing, you barely use it in typing. Like, I know you use it to press enter a lot, but I could probably just as easily do that with my ring finger. So I think it would cause the least impact on my typing. I was considering one of my thumbs, since that would cause no impact on typing, because you don't need two thumbs for a space bar. But my left thumb, when I horribly injured that 10, 15 years ago, and I needed a cast and surgery and stuff, it was really annoying not having the use of even just one of my opposable thumbs, but especially the left one, because I couldn't crochet. Like, when it was clamped like this, like I couldn't crochet because I use my left thumb a lot in crocheting to control tension and stuff. So yeah, I definitely would not cut off a thumb. Thumbs are very useful. But yeah, I'd say probably my right pinky or my left pinky, but probably my right pinky, just because I have a feeling typing would be easier. Or I could do my left pinky and then everyone would think I was in the Yakuza. What do you think about translating into a foreign language? Okay, so let's clarify. A foreign language, everything is a foreign language relative to whoever is speaking, so a better way of phrasing that is like your non-native language. What do I think about translating into my non-native language? Yeah, I mean, I could do it, but it would suck. It wouldn't sound very natural. It would sound kind of like a machine translated it. Like certain things would sound good. Like there are certain things that I could translate into Japanese or even into German that it would be okay. Well, not German. At this point, I don't think I could translate anything into German and make it sound like a normal person said it. But Japanese, yeah, there's plenty of stuff I could translate that would sound natural. But yeah, no, it just doesn't really make sense to do it that way. I'd have to like be genuinely bilingual, like somebody who was raised in both countries and has spent like equal time in both countries my entire life. Like, but I'm so heavily weighted with English. Like English is all the way up here, Japanese is all the way down there. So yeah, it would not be a really good idea for me to translate into Japanese. Load, come on. Okay, so 3 people asked this. I was gonna answer it anyway, but you know, 3 people asked this when I said this was going to be my final Q&A Tuesday video. They asked, why is this the last Q&A? So there's a few reasons for that. So first, I have to preface this by saying I'm not going to stop answering your questions. You can keep asking me questions. I tend to be pretty active in the comments section on my videos. I read all the comments. Sometimes YouTube doesn't notify me if I get comments. So if I didn't heart react or reply to your comment, I probably didn't see it. So yeah, and if you commented and then I replied and then you replied to my comment, I almost never get a notification. Actually, I never get a notification that you replied to the reply. I only happen to see it if I happen to be like reading some other comment that I got a notification for. So anyway, yeah, I'm pretty active in the comments section. So if you ask me questions in the comments section, I tend to answer them there anyway. And then you can always email me at sarahktranslate@yahoo.com. You can always add me on Facebook and Twitter and @ me, ask me questions there. And you can always join the freelance translator group on Facebook and ask the community at large questions. Like, they're great. They're better than I am. Like, they answer questions faster than I do on there, and there's people on there who know way more than I do about certain aspects of the industry. So if you have questions about the translating industry, like, totally join the Facebook group for translators. I cannot stress that enough. And add me on Facebook, add me on Twitter. You can ask me questions there, send me emails to ask me questions. That's all fair game. As far as like these videos go, this is the last like pre-recorded, the first Tuesday of the month Q&A video that I'm going to do. I actually did my first one a year ago, the beginning of September, because I had just moved here. I didn't have my camera unpacked yet. I was like, I need to do a quick video. Why don't I just do a Q&A? It's pretty easy. And I did it with my phone, and it was just, you know, guerrilla style in the car little video. And you guys seemed to like it, so I just kept going. But yeah, for me personally, I'm just not quite enjoying it as much as I used to. And part of it is I keep getting the same questions over and over again, and that's totally not your fault. I don't expect you guys to like go back and watch through my entire library of like 200 videos and then take notes and remember every single thing that I said. Of course you're going to ask questions that I've already covered. Like, that's totally fine. It's just I don't want to like devote an entire pre-recorded video per month answering a lot of questions that probably have already been asked before. Also, questions that sometimes they seem like a little more urgent in nature, and instead of asking them for me to answer like a week later after you've asked it in a video, you could just ask the Facebook translator group and get a response within an hour or less, or email me. You know, I usually check that email, the Yahoo email, once a day, so you can get an answer much faster that way. So those are the other reasons. And then the other thing is, like I said at the beginning, I'm not going to stop answering questions. I'm thinking of doing another kind of video where I answer questions, either like a live stream every once in a while, or like, you know, more podcast style, but also live. Or preview mode, so that I can be there and chat and like answer questions in real time. But yeah, just this particular format of the first Tuesday of every month, I do a pre-recorded Q&A video where I answer questions that you guys sent me about a week before. Not doing that anymore specifically. So yeah, I will still answer questions, don't worry, just not this exact format and not this schedule. I don't know when I'm going to be doing any more Q&A videos, but I will keep you guys updated. So that was it for the final Q&A Tuesday video. Thanks for watching, and thank you to all of my patrons who support me on Patreon. Next Tuesday, I have a very exciting announcement, and if you support me at the $3 level on Patreon, you already know what that announcement is going to be, but the rest of you get to find out a week from today. Bye!